Hola, Masanori Kobayashi, Program Director, Sasaka Peace Foundation. I have a distinct pleasure to have Mr. Regenvanu, Special Envoy for Climate Change and Environment of Vanuatu. I'm very pleased to have you, and I would like to ask you for your reflections about your participation in CBD COP16 so far in Cali, Colombia.
I've just arrived for the high-level segment. I wasn't here for the technical meetings for the past week. I've come here particularly for the two-day high-level segment where the ministers will make the final decision. I'm the head of delegation for Vanuatu. The main issues we have of concern, we would like to see the monitoring framework finalized here. We want that done so that we can begin the work, which is very challenging for us, to meet our targets by 2030, which is only 5 years away. If we don't agree on the monitoring framework here, there's some countries questioning, that kind of thing. We want them to agree on it so we can get to work. We don't have much time, we only have 5 years. That is one of our main concerns. Another of our main concerns is the financing. We see that there is not enough financing to help us achieve our targets, especially Vanuatu is a small island developing state, developing country. We are the beneficiaries of the Global Biodiversity Framework Fund and also the GEF, and we are getting money from those sources, but it is not enough for what we need to do. In Vanuatu we have still less than 10% of our terrestrial area is protected. We have to get over 20% more, and that involves working with indigenous communities because they are the guardians of the biodiversity and the land. We have to work with them on providing resources and training. We have to build the capacity of government to be able to work with them and report back to the CBD Secretariat. We've all agreed that financing should be provided to the most vulnerable and most in need countries. So we have all agreed on that, but the countries that should give the money haven't come forward and met their pledges. So that is another concern we have.
Excellent. And you touched upon this land use issue, but how about like the coastal and marine ecosystem, marine resources? Is that also an issue for Vanuatu?
Yes, we are in Vanuatu, over 95% of our national territory is marine. So it is the predominant ecosystem type in our country. And we have been able, in June this year, we launched our first marine spatial plan, the first one we've ever done, and that actually protected 30% of our marine area. So we have achieved the 30% marine target. The terrestrial target is the hard one because the land area is so small. It's less than 5% of our national territory, and it's very mountainous and scattered islands. So that is going to be the challenge. But still there is a challenge with the marine because we don't have the scientific evidence, the research hasn't been done, we don't know what is down there. We don't know what the biodiversity is. We are not clear what hotspots are, where the places we need to protect more than other areas, where we can allow fishing to continue, which is one of our main revenue sources, and where we need to shut off completely. So we need much more research done to help us come up with the right management tools for the marine environment.
So monitoring and the finance and also science, these are some of the challenges that the Vanuatu faces in achieving this certified target.
Yes, but the main challenge to biodiversity conservation in Vanuatu is climate change. So climate change is the single greatest threat to our biodiversity, and it's causing the degradation of our oceans and our land areas. For example, our coral reefs, we're seeing ocean acidification, we're seeing ocean coral bleaching, we're seeing rising temperatures. The prediction is that all our coral will be gone by 2050, we'll have no more coral left. And that's purely to do with climate change, which is nothing to do with us. It's to do with countries like Japan, it's to do with countries like the European Union. Countries that are using fossil fuels heavily need to stop. There needs to be a phase out of fossil fuels to assist us to safeguard and rejuvenate our biodiversity.
So this climate change and ocean nexus is really a vital issue that we have to address. And Vanuatu, what do you see the role that Vanuatu will play nationally and at least regionally and internationally in terms of facilitating collective actions for biodiversity conservation and achieving
Well, at this COP, for example, and also at the UNFCCC COP, Vanuatu is in the front line of countries calling for the greatest ambition. So we're always pushing and calling countries to have the most ambitious targets and to commit to those ambitious targets. We have to wait for the other countries to do it because, we can just talk. We can't actually do much ourselves unless the other countries, especially the developed countries, the more powerful countries, actually commit to what they said they would do.
And our office is collaborating with Nippon Foundation and The Economist in hosting the World Ocean Summit in March next year. We are having also Ocean Expo and of course UN Ocean Conference taking place in France. What initiatives, events you keep eyes and efforts to prepare in the next few months and the next year?
Well, straight after this we go to the UNFCCC COP in Baku. Then we have the INC5 plastic, which is very important to us to finalize the plastics treaty. We want to see a very strong, legally enforceable plastics treaty that helps us to stop the scourge of plastic pollution that is a main cause of crisis in our oceans. And then we have the desertification policy straight after that, before we even get to 2025. So
there's still a number of UN and international meetings in pipelines coming up. So thank you, Special Envoy Regenvanu, and I really hope that we can continue collaborations and work together to achieve common objectives, achieving sustainable and tackling climate change and promoting global environmental conservations.
And thank you for all the good work that Sasakawa Peace Foundation does in the Pacific Islands. We've been working together for many, many decades actually, and we really appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.